Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. Now with all of that in mind, we are seeing a nice breakout event on Bitcoin to about 47k. I do want to see us really clear that 48k level fully. Of course, the warning sign is that it is officially marching into Monday now. When I upload this, it will be about 2:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it is going to be a little bit before, of course, the major indices do open. I'm going to be watching those as well as the dollar closely today for a major correction across the board. Again, that is just if we do have a pullback. I will say this though, a lot of altcoin rotations has been happening. I've been telling you guys about this on the 7-day span and really kind of addressing this fully. Things are heating up within the altcoin markets. I told you guys that today and I addressed it. In terms of XRP is also boiling up. If you guys missed a few tweets, shout out to Linda P. Jones for this, but she said that, my tweet was censored, but this was it, a Wyckoff event chart. XRP is following the pattern nicely. Let's go. And honestly, yes. When we are talking about XRP, I do believe its charts are coiling up. In fact, I do actually have the USD chart over here that we're going to be addressing here shortly, but you guys can really kind of see this ABC correction, which kind of leads to a nice little sort of sideways momentum, which will lead to a massive breakout, as you guys do see down here. We're basically in this phase D, which will follow up with a phase E. Now, if we are looking at the USD chart, so here we have, this is the weekly, by the way, just so you guys know. This is basically where we currently are at in terms of the price chart. So we're kind of coiled up here, having that nice little breakout event. On the daily, it looks a little bit better, to be completely honest with you guys. But check it out, right? When we're talking about this event, we're really kind of coiling up against this nice resistance level. If we can break above this, this is going to be very significant. But I do love the fact that we have officially broken out of that 200-day EMA, and now we are pretty much targeting this 92 cents multi-year resistance level, by the way, as you guys do see, going all the way back to, of course, alt season in 2017-2018. It is a significant level, or sorry, not 92 cents, 98 cents. I apologize for that. But overall, when we are talking about this, this is kind of going off of the topping point at $3.84. If we do go off of just the topping point here, you guys can kind of see this chart, a little bit better than. This is at around the 92 cent level, which is the level that I typically go off of anyways, because as you guys do see on the weekly chart, this is clear and cut dry resistance that we need to really kind of break over. So, I would more so look at the 92 cent level, and I'm actually going to go off of the all-time highs on this anyways, because this is the logical area to really kind of go off of. Of course, the high points on XRP will be much higher if I went off of the $3.84 level, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to be doing it in a logical way that is more precise. So to really kind of show you guys this, we really want to watch for the high tier targets on XRP being targeted. I've been targeting $10 to $15 for a very long time. Safest point will be that $10 to $12 range. But guys, the price action from XRP's current levels are going to be so good for us. Like, I really don't think that a lot of people are really kind of paying attention to XRP, which is funny to say because it's been 4 years without an all-time high. And honestly, from our current structure to around $10, it's only around a 1,000% move. Compared to most assets, that's actually fairly conservative. To the high point here to $12, it's about 1,280%. This thing could easily go to $15 if, of course, FOMO does allow it, which I think that when we're talking about the current market structure, things are looking very good, especially for altcoins to have massive money capital flows into them. I have been addressing the altcoin market cap itself. So on the weekly chart, as you guys do see here, it is starting to really boil up. I have addressed this in my video from earlier today. It looks like we are targeting that 618 level at the $1.28 trillion point. If we can break over this, this is going to be very significant, and we will essentially target the high tier targets and really kind of have that confirmation breakout to, again, the all-time high, which will lead us to breaking $2 trillion plus, going to that 1618 fib level up there. So a lot of things are really kind of waging on if we do break out here. But I will say this, as we do see regulations getting, really fired up here in, other areas around the world, more so the United Kingdom. Again, this is all talking about regulating stable coins, more so trying to move in on crypto adoption in the DeFi space. I think all of this is really boiling up for the end goal here, and that is, of course, CBDCs. I've talked about how we can possibly see gold-backed CBDCs. With all of this in mind, I think that we are about to see a massive shift in the digital space. We do see CBDCs could pave the way to full interoperability of global digital currencies. As of 2021, 87 countries have begun exploring a CBDC solution. See which countries are partnering with Ripple to develop a national digital currency utilizing the XRP ledger. And I want you guys to understand, utilizing the XRP ledger, they are going to be utilizing the private ledger base on the XRP ledger. This is going to be very good for the price appreciation of not only Ripple once they do IPO, but also the price of XRP itself as well. And we do see over here, check this out, right? The 3 insights on CBDC solutions from global researchers, March 4th, 2021. The main points that they are trying to mention here is, of course, sustainability, scalability, things like that. They, of course, also mention, the main points of, CBDCs that are built already utilizing the XRP ledger. But we do see the 87 countries, which make up more than 90% of the global GDP, have begun exploring a CBDC solution. I want you guys to understand, 90% of the global GDP. That is significant, guys. Especially because this is over $84 trillion, which is absolutely massive. Now, I want you guys to all understand that this is just the gross domestic product. We are also targeting cross-border payments, which is a $156 trillion market. Then when we are talking about tokenization of real estate and things like that, then we get into the hundreds of trillions of dollars just in those areas specifically as well. So, there's a lot of money to really be grasped by a lot of these DLTs, and I'm very excited for the future of this. Now, of course, there's a few things that do get mentioned within this article, which I find very interesting. Of course, we're going to be addressing that and really kind of talking about it, more so CBDCs, right? So let's first off address CBDCs. So we actually see here, central bank digital currencies are launching faster than you think. Here's a global CBDC tracker. Guys, this is a great website, by the way. If you guys haven't checked this out, go check it out. It's from atlanticcouncil.org/CBDC tracker. This really kind of breaks down everything from the infrastructure to CBDC statuses and stuff like that. You guys can really kind of see where we currently are. There has been currently 9 launched fully, 15 piloting, 16 in development, 40 in research. I mean, there's a lot of stuff happening within this space very, very closely in terms of the idea of a massive revolution. So, really kind of pay attention to CBDCs right now as they do continue to unfold and be researched. But really what I'm really focused on in this is where Ripple is going to really position themselves in general as a whole. So, when we are talking about everything from, CBDCs and their solutions, there's a few things really kind of, waging on this, and it's the idea of having that trust, sustainability, and scalability factor that they, essentially need to really kind of launch these massive CBDCs that are going to provide so much value and volume to the network that they do launch on. And if we are talking about Ripple becoming the choice for CBDCs, things are going to get very interesting very fast in terms of the adoption curve that will take place for digital assets. Now, also, while we are talking about this, Ripple has been talking more so about instant payments and, of course, the growing demand behind them. I just mentioned this the other day, talking more so about the APAC region. This is the instant payments momentum, depends on public-private collaboration, and I do believe that it is all really kind of, waging on, again, regulatory clarity, which we do know is moving very, very fast towards, of course, adoption. And again, we are seeing a massive clear cut and dry focus on regulatory clarity, which will most likely happen this year. In my opinion, I don't think that this is not going to happen this year. Like, I honestly see regulatory clarity coming to the space before September. The reason why is, of course, we do see ISO launching very soon. I think that, regulatory clarity is clearly a necessity for crypto adoption within the financial institutional area and the banking scene for, of course, the future of finance. Now, the funny thing about this APOC Legion, the way in Instant Payments article that I found very interesting was this 20% of approximately 250 digital banks worldwide are based in the APOC region. Now, the funny thing about this, okay, is I want to share with you something very interesting about these, 20% of 250 banks. Okay, so in this article, it talks about, the 20%, right? All that kind of stuff. But the thing that I found interesting was this. Of them, 13 were profitable and 10 of those were in Asia. Now, there's a few that were profitable, and I want to talk to you guys about a lot of these other banks that are not profitable. So everyone always says, why would a bank choose RippleNet? Why would a bank utilize RippleNet? Why would they even utilize XRP? Why would they utilize any of this technology, right? Obviously, they're the banking scene. They're doing good for themselves. They don't really need to adopt anything, right? Well, that's the biggest problem, okay? It's having a bank that is profitable. I know that kind of sounds crazy, but think about it like this. You are a financial institution. Maybe you're a little bit underwater, whatever. At the end of the day, how are they going to increase profits? How are they going to get to a profitable point as well? Well, they would need something like RippleNet that actually saves them a massive amount on fees. For an example, RippleNet with XRP saves them over 60% in terms of fees. RippleNet by itself without XRP saves them over 30% in fees. So, that's a huge saving point, and it's actually very disruptive, especially when you are looking at the, financial sector itself. But also instant payments, right? Instant settlement, instant payments in general, like real-time settlement is such a massive, punch. Like that really packs a massive punch for not only the end user, but also the banks themselves. So I think that that is such a massive innovation to this space that everyone is still continuing to overlook. They think that, hey, Ripple's not going to be chosen. They're not going to be utilized. This has been in, the works for over a decade. Okay, API gateways, on-demand liquidity, like these services are, limitless in terms of the potential that they do unlock. And when we are talking about instant payments, I do think that this is going to have a massive spotlight on it. And I'm actually very excited, to say the least, for the future of, crypto adoption, as well as they do, look at the smartphone adoption. They also look at the subscriber penetration, stuff like that. When we were talking about the adoption of crypto, like things like this is what's really going to drive success in this market. I know everyone's really focused on NFTs, the metaverse, stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, that's great for retail adoption, but when we're talking about mass adoption, when we're talking about global adoption, it's going to be the financial sector. It's going to be DeFi, it's going to be stablecoins and things like that. That's why we do see, again, a massive spotlight on regulatory clarity, because it is such a massive selling point. And I really do, look at the things that are really evolving right now within this market. And it is really kind of on things like Swift, right? Like we are looking at Swift being a massive, network of 11,000 plus banks. Like, this is something that if we do disrupt, if we do fully, pack a punch to the point where we are, sort of usurping a massive potential away from Swift, it's going to be huge for Ripple because, 11,000 financial institutions. I mean, this is huge, okay? This is absolutely huge. $5 trillion a day in payment volume. And, we are truly disrupting Swift entirely by just, focusing on Nostro Vostro accounts and really unlocking that capital that is, pre-funded. Like, that's huge, okay? And I don't need to explain to you guys how huge it is because I've explained it so many times, time and time again on this channel, and really tried to tell you guys just how valuable that actually is of a use case. I know that that is something to really kind of, for the typical individual, hard to wrap your head around, but I want you all to understand that, this pre-funded, liquidity is a terrible, inefficient way of actually making payments and utilizing a payment network. That is why the success of RippleNet with the power of XRP, of course, like when you combine both of them, the power is limitless. But the power of RippleNet by itself is such a huge innovation entirely. But again, like I said, combining XRP with it, you see 30+% savings. You see a lot more transparency, a lot more scalability. Liquidity is unlocked on demand. And that is a huge selling point for a lot of these financial institutions that do want to save as much money as possible. And again, Like I said, 30 to 60% savings compared to Swift. That is a huge selling point. It is a no-brainer move. These 11,000 financial institutions will most likely start leaving this network as there is better efficiencies compared to other networks out there. So with that being said, I hope that that kind of clarifies a lot of things within that area, and I hope that I kind of shed some light on XRP and the value that we are going to be seeing this year alone. I think that the high end on XRP, like even the low end, right? So like real quick, let's just address this real quick. So even the low end targets for XRP at the all-time high breaking point, we're looking at the high end here, at least at the bare minimum between this like almost $6 range to the $9 range is like something where we will most likely see like without any sort of bullish news. Like this $7 range to this $8 range in between the middle is a perfect area to really kind of account for. But I really do believe that we're going to see higher targets. This $10 to $15 range is very enticing to me. I think that we could see much higher targets if, of course, a settlement happens or some sort of massive bullish news like that. And like I've said, if we go off of the $3.84 zone instead of the all-time high that is on the, Binance price chart, we see these levels being pushed even higher to like almost $30 per XRP. So, the potential here is absolutely limitless in terms of an ROI. But I just want to really kind of warn you guys ahead of time, always have your own exit plan. My exit plan compared to most is completely different. Everyone else's exit plan is going to be a little bit different. You got to account for also FOMO and these networks going down in terms of these exchanges, how much demand there's going to be at that time in need. So, really just kind of pay attention, do your own research, have your own exit plan. But with all of that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.